Guys, so today I'll be reviewing new set of acoustic guitar strings and then also doing like a singing demo. So the thing with strings is that, when should you change the strings? Now I kind of regret it because it really takes about, and I kid you not, it takes about 6 months for the strings to sort of set in. So when I first put these strings 3 days ago, they sounded kind of, very kind of bright, right? So now they've sort of set in. It's this old sort of analog thing to where it needs to sort of just sit in here. Logically it doesn't make sense, but it needs to sort of sit in here, find its home. Acoustic guitar players know what I'm talking about, right? It needs to kind of sit in here, find its home, and just find a right pad to resonate. And sometimes what will happen is that, like the sweat from your, fingers and stuff like that, or natural oils, I guess both, right? Usually natural oils will sort of coat the strings. And that's good because we want that sort of, swampy blues, ancient, archaic sound. So really the strings aren't ready for another 6 months. So I put these strings in, the one before this one, I put it in December 2024 and it sounded perfect. And what did I do? I changed it because I was like, oh wow, maybe I can, I want to try something different. And now I regret it. So unfortunately this isn't going to be the greatest review. So here are these strings, Augustine strings. So kind of like boutique strings, right? So it's phosphor bronze 11s, extra light. In acoustics, 11 to 52 is considered extra light. So this is Albert Augustine, New York. So it's made in here. So I don't know. I just thought, sometimes, marketing is so powerful that you think, just because it's got like a weird, cool name, that I thought like this was going to be like kind of old world fare. You know what I mean? That kind of, rustic sound, kind of like a mix between classical and rootsy and Americana, kind of that, because that's the sound that I'm going for, kind of swampy, kind of sound. And then it turned out that it's not that great. And the packaging, this is red, right? And then they also make like nylon strings. At one point I want to consider putting nylon strings in here. So putting strings here can be just finding the right strings. I'm still trying to find the right strings for the acoustic. And unfortunately this is kind of like a monopoly, just like any other thing, to where you have the Diodaros and then you have the Ernie Balls and that's pretty much it. And then you have like Martin, but then they're not that good. I put strings like the new Martin strings on and immediately I had to take them off because it was so horrible. This is just like that. These strings are just like that. So Augustine strings. See, I fell for the packaging because the packaging looks cool, right? And I don't mean to say that these strings are bad. They may be good for you, but it's not what I'm going for. And then look, pretty, right? The packaging looks good. And even, it comes in like a corrosion kind of proof bag. And then, this looks good. It's got like, treble clef staff and all this kind of stuff, and it's very musical. So I kind of fell for it. I was like, oh, okay, wow, this is like, and the name is kind of weird, Augustine. So I don't know, I just kind of fell for it. But problem here is that it's too kind of tinny, maybe because it's light, but I'm not getting that deep resonance. And it's not loud enough. It doesn't project, even though it's phosphor bronze. So it's very low key in volume. My other strings have a little bit more volume. So if I play with my fingers, you can't really hear it that much. So you almost have to play with this. So if you do this, just something about it, I don't like it. Maybe I want to give it a chance. Maybe I'll have it for 2 weeks or 3 weeks. It's kind of bright. So let me play like some. Our favorite Chinese scale. No, it's the, well, I mean, it does sound Chinese. It's the minor pentatonic. Oh, hit the wrong note there. It's kind of funny how this sounds Chinese, very, right, very Chinese. But then when you play it, there's all kinds of stuff you can play with it. Basically, all of rock and roll, you know, uses this kind of scale, pentatonic, at one point or another. So I don't know. That's just the thing here is that, you know, boutique strings, right? Kind of off-market boutique strings. I kind of fell for it. So sounds very thin and light to me, even though this is extra light. But still, you know, it doesn't have that swampiness. Like if I go, I don't know, maybe it'll get better, but I don't know. I don't have the patience for this. I can't wait another 6 months on this. Like I said, my last strings that I put on in December, it had finally kind of baked in and it was like right. Because you have to give strings time for them to sort of, you know, react with the surrounding temperature, sort of the atmosphere. You know, I live next to the ocean, so this is kind of like a weird, you know, town. And all these things have an effect on how they sound. You know, if I leave metal outside, it's going to rust. Because it's the ocean water. So all the things we leave out here get damaged. Rust, you know, they rust easy. I want to get the hell out of California, if I could. At least Southern California. I'm originally from the Bay Area. So see, it's not really that loud. It's too quiet for me. I do like one portion of it, which is kind of the highs are kind of tamed a little bit, whereas in other strings, the highs can you know, sound kind of tinny. So this is good, but just not for me. So anyway, that's the thing. Augustine strings, maybe not for you. I think maybe if you come from the classical world, see, that's why I bought it, because I was like, oh wait, these are classical strings. Maybe they're kind of. I was looking for that kind of old. You know, like I said, that I don't know how to describe it because there's no words to describe it. Kind of that old rusty kind of sound, rustic kind of sound, you know. And this is definitely not it. This is not like down and dirty enough. Anyway, I guess this review is not going to be that big. So what I'll do is I guess I'll sing a song because people want to hear how the voice is going to sit on top of this. Now, we are going through the blue microphone. I think in the future we're going to go through this. I had this before, but I haven't used it in a while. So the thing with the blue microphone is that it will capture the voice just as it sounds. It's got a flat, basically, a frequency response. So it's not going to color the mic in any way, right? This is not a mic that colors your voice. So, for example, I was using the NT Rode USB. That thing has a high, you know, it boosts the highs. So this is not going to boost the highs. This is exactly what my voice sounds like. At least as close to it, you know, as you can, unless you were in this room. Maybe I'll just use my fingers. Because to me, the voice is the most important thing. So I don't know if this is going to overpower the voice or interfere with it. See how this frequency... So, just something about it sounds too airy to me. Like it's got no girth to the tone. So that's another $7 or $10 wasted. See, the thing here is that I'm trying to find the right, once I find the right acoustic strings, then I'm not going to change it. But it's a journey to find each one because you have to put them on and then let it bake in for a couple of months. And then so every time you're spending like $10. You know, there's some strings out there that are like $15. You know, I don't want to buy $15 strings and then find out that they're not for me. Just like I bought these strings and I found out they're not for me. So, anyway. What should I sing? One night with you Here's what I'm looking for. Just a baby come true, and I fall. And I was quite like, and I ain't done nothing wrong. My favorite part. Now I try loud, I'm very quite like, and I won't give one to you. Yeah, I'll do it again. One night with you. I guess it's a song about a one-night stand. Here's how I'm looking for. 'Cause I can fall in love with you. No, if I at all, if I. Now I find my time alright, and I was looking like a goddamn fool. Now I find I'm very quite like I won't fall in love with you. Yeah. Alright. Anyway, I guess that's a song about a one-night stand. So I don't know. I mean, it's okay, but I don't know if it's for me. So anyway, guys. So it's one of these things where it's like, you know, you have to experiment with strings, right? So I guess I'll make another video which will be released probably tomorrow. This one's going to go first. So if you have good acoustic guitar strings that kind of sound rustic, kind of swampy blues, let me know what they are and what your gauge is, what you use. I kind of improvise on those lyrics, so, and you know, it's kind of cool to do that. But see how this, right, my voice sounds natural here. It doesn't sound artificially kind of where the frequencies, the high frequencies are like hiked up, which actually makes the voice sound thin. So you want a mic that'll actually capture your voice as it is. So this has a flat frequency response. So probably I'll use this. I've had this just kind of lying around. So if you want to record music, like you know, I can record my own songs and stuff like that. When I record the guitar, you should be using this. So in some of the earlier demos, I didn't use it. So maybe I'll just go back to using this. All right.